guys, what's up? It's Hobbs here with another video. So, sorry I've been gone for super duper long. Just this virus is getting crazy, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. So I thought I would do a video about my 2011 school production of The Sound of Music. Alright, so in late October, early November of 2010, my school was having auditions for The Sound of Music. So if you guys are familiar with The Sound of Music, it was a popular movie with Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer and a bunch of talented actors and actresses. But it was also based on a true story of a real family that lived in Austria during the time where World War II was just coming to a head. So if you guys have not really heard the real story and you are interested in the real story, just search the Von Trapps online. You can find a very basic storyline of their life online. But my school decided to do the play, and we did more like the Broadway version than the movie version just because my teacher is very into the original version of things. So, like I said, late October, early November of 2010 auditions. I believe I auditioned in late October. And I asked my friends to sign me up for auditions this time because last time I signed up for auditions for a play, I was late to my audition, so I had my friends sign me up for my audition this time and tell me and make sure I was with one of them during audition. So they were nice enough to do that for me and sign me up at the same time as one of my friends. So long story short, I had an after school activity that day anyways, but auditions were after all the after school activities, so that was fine. So basic audition, she would give us a sheet, we would have to sign what character we were hoping to get, we had to basically write down what characters we were hoping to get. The top three characters I would absolutely love to be would either be Liesl, that was my main choice. Maria would have been cool, but we already knew who was gonna get Maria, just as a precautionary thing. And the Baroness would have been okay to play too. So during our audition time, we only had one guy who was able to be our Rolf, which was cool. The interesting thing about him was he was really German. We had a German exchange student at my school that year, and the only reason I knew him kind of well was because he was in my advisory class. So me auditioning with him wasn't really a big deal because I saw him every day for 5 days a week, every morning for 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how long my advisory was that day. But when we auditioned, we did a common Liesl Rolf scene, and in the scene, we're supposed to sit down, but I didn't see the seats in there. The seats were folded up in the back of the room, so we didn't have seats to sit down on, and then he brought it up on the next audition with the next girl who was in the audition block. Of course, I was the first one. That's never happens. But, he brought it up with the next girl, and I feel like that might have been why my audition didn't work out. So after we auditioned, she would have some people leave and some people stay. I was one of the ones that sadly had to leave. And then after auditions, we would soon get our parts. But during that time I was going through a really hard time, so I said to my friends, you know, I'm going down the same exact hall as you, but if I check for my part, I am going to be late. So my friends were nice enough to check out what part I got. Sadly, I only got a part of a random nun and a random neighbor. That goes to the party at Captain Von Trapp's, but it's fine. You know, I was just happy to be in that play because I grew up loving The Sound of Music, and my best friends were in the play, and it was a great way to get involved and stay after school where I didn't have to go home right away after school because that was so boring to me. It was not my first experience with this teacher or with the musical. The teacher actually, she came over to the middle school once to do a production, and I was in that production. It was Annie Jr. But this teacher was really a high school teacher, and we were doing The Sound of Music this year, in 2011. So rehearsal started in December for The Sound of Music, and that included just reading the script in the music room, practicing the music, help build the sets, and if you could, offer your help with hair, makeup, whatever. But that was mostly for other students who were not in the play to offer their assistance. We got all our parts. Yes, for a fact, we did have either younger siblings of some of the students or younger students from the school district to play the younger kids. So we had a younger boy for Kurt, we needed a younger girl for Marta, Brigitta, and Grell. And we were able to get all those. They're like one of the only girls I knew was playing Brigitta just because I was friends with her older sister. So like that was like very weird to me. So we started rehearsals. One of the main reasons I really wanted Liesl was because during that time I really was 16 going on 17. I was 16 when we started rehearsals, and then in January I turned 17. So that was actually cool because when we were rehearsing our song for like the nuns, the guy who was our Rolf he knew how to play piano, so our teacher or our director had him take all of us girls down to the music room to practice our nun songs, and they all sing happy birthday. I was really hoping for 16 going on 17. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was really hoping for that, but it never happened. So happy birthday would have to suffice for me. So we did rehearsals, and I remember our Captain Von Trapp was kind of scared to flirt with our Maria because in real life our Maria had a boyfriend, and he was a very athletic guy, and he was scared, and our teacher was like, you cannot be scared to flirt with her. Her boyfriend will not kill you. So that's one of the things I really remember about rehearsals. Then when we got costumes, those were very oriented. You know, we got the Nazi costumes, and we had that band that they would usually wear around here, but we decided not to wear those as it would be disrespectful to some people. So we were not wearing the bands, but it worked out fine because everybody knew just by the costumes who they were, and if they knew the play or the movie well enough, they would know who they were. Our nun costumes were just simply from a Halloween costume store. The only thing was like they had like names that could like Velcro onto like the black thing, but we didn't use those. We were allowed to use them in the very last show if we wanted to, but nobody decided to. But the very last show, my friend was like, when the Nazis come out, who wants to go boo with me? I'm like, I'll do it. Just like I kind of like really want to do it. Like no disrespect, but it was just like a funny thing to do. Our teacher said if we wanted to do anything funny the last show we could. And then my random neighbor dress was a dress that I got from a shop. Let me tell you, that dress was the hardest thing to find. Not only did it have to look like it was from the 30s, but also I have one of the broadest backs you will ever like see. And it was hard to find a dress that would fit me, go across my back, and then zip up. I was able to find one, which was awesome, and I also got like my first pair of cowgirl boots that night too. Some of our rehearsals ran like super late. Sometimes it would be like 3 o'clock to like 4 o'clock, but as like we got closer to the show, it would be like 3 o'clock to like 7 or 8 even. Sometimes I would fall asleep without doing my homework, which is like super rare for me. So my mom would have to write me a note like every day when our rehearsals got later and later and later. So even during like school vacations, we would have to go to school for extra rehearsals just because musicals take super long to rehearse other than like other plays, regular plays. So we went through December, January, February, and then March was the show. We did a couple shows, but here's the thing. We did shows on Thursday nights. But then, like, if you wanted to be in the show the next night, then you couldn't be in the show the next night. You would have to be at school the next day if you wanted to be in the play. So I don't know if that was true or not. Then one night, I got the hiccups during our production. Well, not during the production. I got them that day. And when I get the hiccups, I just don't get them once. I get them the whole entire day. So I was so afraid I was going to get the hiccups during the show. Our director lost her voice. So she's just like, if you get the hiccups, just walk off stage. Just walk off stage. Don't pay attention to anybody, just walk off stage. Thankfully, I did not get the hiccups during the show or for the rest of the night. The shows went really well. All us girls had to help the guys with their makeup, so it would be like 5 girls and like 4 to 5, 6 guys in the girls' bathroom applying makeup to the guys' faces because the guys had no clue what they were doing. No entire clue what they were doing. So of course us girls had to step up and do their makeup. And we had a few little slip-ups here and there on shows, but that was fine. Our Gretel, all us older girls were like her big sisters, basically. She was only 6, so, her mom wasn't always there to, babysit her, basically. So all of us girls and guys were like her older brothers and sisters, so she was completely fine with being with us. She actually drew me a picture on, the first day of our show, which was super cute. She did it for a few people. But me being one of them, just with my parts alone in the play, was super big. So yeah, we had a few slip-ups here and there, but that was fine. But then during or after we did the show, everything I saw had to do with the Sound of Music. Like SNL had a sketch that weekend, then they did a Sound of Music thing on Family Guy, and then later that month, Sound of Music was on for Easter. I was like, what the hell is happening?